I am LaVon Sanders, and I am Woo-Wee. Woo-Wee stands for Women Helping to Encourage Women, Women's Empowerment. I created this group because I've seen for a long time how we as women treat each other, and I felt a platform was needed where we can have those conversations with one another. We should be able to support each other and be on each other's team. There tends to be a lot of jealousy amongst women, and I just think at the age we're at, it's time to let go of those issues. This is why I created Woo-Wee, and I appreciate everyone's support. Let's continue to ride this journey together. Again, I am LaVon Sanders, a woman helping to encourage women. Welcome to another episode of Woo-Wee. We will be discussing the S on our chest. Of course, we know the S represents Superman, but in this case, Superwomen that we are. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight, and I am super excited to have these two wonderful ladies next to me joining me tonight. I have Miss Tracey Lockwood and Mrs. Cheryl Cobbs. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, Tracey?
Well, I have a kind of unusual profession. I'm a professional psychic medium, and I teach others how to develop their ability. And I have a radio show and really have a passion for teaching.
Great. Thank you so much for joining. Cheryl?
Well, I don't do anything as exciting as that. First of all, I'm a mom of 3 awesome human beings. I always say that first, no matter what I do. I also own a small business in downtown Roanoke called Delish Sweets and Treats. It's a bakery. And then in addition to that, I also work full-time as a mentor coordinator with a local nonprofit here, helping young men that are coming out of jail to meet with a mentor so that they will hopefully not go back to jail. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. Then I do a couple other community projects too, but that's the bulk of it.
So you're very, very busy.
Very busy. Yeah.
Great. Thank you both so much for joining me. I'm excited about this conversation. The S on our chest. That's what we will be discussing, and we will be right back after this break.
Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me. Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me.
There is something going on, and it's going to take prayer and you to help us complete it. As believers, we know that God is our help, and all we need to do is ask.
Prayer has begun. We know that the prayer of the righteous is powerful and effective for the kingdom of God. Even in our confusion, looking around trying to find our purpose, wondering when or where we can fit in,
God has already sent out his people who have answered the call of the Holy Spirit to help us with direction, to find our purpose.
Building the kingdom of God is a team effort not led by men but by God. The kingdom of God will be advancing in Roanoke, Virginia. We are taking back our yard for Christ. We are looking for volunteers to assist
in stage setup and removal, sound technicians, watchmen, prayer warriors, and those who want to participate by sharing their goals and talents to the glory of God for this great event.
This event is a part of a larger event that is called Take Back Our Yard, hosted and sponsored by
New Focus Media Group. Don't miss your opportunity to help in advancing in the kingdom's mission.
don't miss your opportunity to help in advancing the kingdom's mission. Remember, 1 will put 1,000 to flight, but 2, 10,000.
The body of Christ is coming together, the advancement of the kingdom of God, calling whoever will.
Are you looking to be part of something that's going to change the world? take back our yard may be the opportunities you need. If you're interested in serving, please contact us at themovement68@gmail.com or by phone at 540-353-8232. Please leave your name, your contact information, and the area you would like to serve.
We need you and your help.
Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me. Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me.
This segment of Woo Wee brought to you by Focus Fashion Timeless. Focus Fashion Timeless presents Timeless Fashion Show, June 9, 2018 at Roanoke Century Plaza Park, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Learn more by visiting Focus Fashion on Facebook. Focus Fashion, the ones who brought fashion back to the Star City.
Welcome back to Woo Wee. The S on our chest. That's huge to me. I think that we all feel like we're super women because we do so much through the course of a day. We won't talk about what we do through the course of a month or a year, but just through the course of a day, I think we carry that title of super women.
Or wish we did.
I think that we do a lot.
Yeah.
The kids work. For both of you that are both business owners, I can only imagine what that entails. Just keeping it functioning and running it the way that it needs to so that it's profitable for you guys.
Right.
And then going home and you still have to cook dinner and you still have to, for me, homework. I don't own my own business, but I do have an 11-year-old. So after the 8 to 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 8 to 7, you still go home. What's for dinner?
Right.
Most nights, if you like me, you're going to grab something on the way in because you're exhausted mentally from being stressed at work all day. So we try to find those quick outs. You know, what will help me in this situation right now? Because right now, I just want to get in the bed.
Yeah.
So the S on your chest, Tracey. What do you have to offer as far as the S on the chest? What do you think about that?
I think anyone that owns their own business, people just see, the product.
Right.
They just see the class or the deliciousness, or, whatever. They just see that, and they don't realize how much goes into getting to that point. I do all my own web design. I create the content for my classes. I organize and arrange the guests that come on my show. I, do all my own marketing and that kind of thing. And there are a lot of unseen hours. And you add children in the mix, and you add 9 to 5 in the mix, and there are only so many hours in the day.
And or husbands. Possibility. You add the husband because he's got to be fed and he's got to have his me time, his time with you. Like, how do you find time?
No husband. She has to answer.
I don't have a husband. I cannot.
Yeah, and for women that deal with that, that's really tremendous because there's the performance pressure at whatever job you do. There are all the things that you do for other people behind the scenes. There are all the relationships that we have in our lives. It can be pretty intense.
It can be.
Yeah.
What about the S on your chest?
I agree with what she said. People don't see what goes into a day. They don't have a clue from the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. And I think what we super women tend to fail at doing is being super women to ourselves.
Absolutely.
And we absolutely, we are the key relationship that we should be having with ourselves, because if we're not well, if we're not healthy, if we're not mentally healthy for a day, then everything else that we're responsible for is going to fall apart. So I think that people fail to remember that. As strong women, people tend to pour more onto you because they feel, hey, Cheryl's got that. She got it. She always got it. Well, sometimes Cheryl doesn't. And then to be able to tell people, no, I don't, or no, I can't, is a very difficult thing because you don't want to let people down. You don't want that pressure of having to say no and disappointing someone. So you take on all these other responsibilities, and then that S just continues to grow on your chest, and you don't have so much space on your chest to go. So same thing in your day or your mind or your body, and eventually that's going to show. So what I'm learning, I think I learned it best after I turned 40, and I'm still peeling off layers and still learning a lot, is that no is an awesome word. Especially if you can't do it, and it doesn't make you any less super. And I think we need to define for ourselves what that really means. But yeah, when I think of the S on my chest, I think of my younger years and never wanting to tell people no, never wanting to stop, never wanting to not pick up a new project because of how it made me feel, or how it made me even look, and the perception of people. Oh, that's great, look at Cheryl. But in the long run, wears you down. So. When I think of the S, I think of now in a totally different realm of when I was younger. Or maybe it's because my body's getting older and it's tired. I don't know. But I'd like to say that's wisdom, Right. But yeah, so that's kind of the S on the
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel like you're a superwoman?
I don't. There's not a day that I can think. I can pick apart a day in a heartbeat. I'm like, gosh, I didn't do that well. I didn't do that right. I didn't say this thing the way I should have said it. So no, there's many days I go home and I'm like, I'm so much less than super. And so what people's perception of a person is totally not who they may be in real life. And when they look in the mirror at themselves, I don't. I feel like there's always capacity to grow, always capacity to do more. And so I do have a tendency to add more, trying to be more just there for people. Right. And I just have that personality. I want to try to do as much as I can for people and do everything I can to make everybody else happy. And again, after 40, I'm learning that doesn't always work. It does, yeah. But I would never say that I'm super. My power, my strength, everything comes from God. So I rely heavily upon that faith. That's my walk personally. It doesn't have to be anybody else's, but that's truly where I get a lot of my strength from. So I really can't rely and say Cheryl is super. I might do some super stuff every now and then, but I just, as a person, no, I wouldn't say that.
So Tracey, you were mentioning that you do just about the majority of everything for your business yourself. Yeah. Is there a way, or do you see a way to delegate any of that to anyone else? Or do you just prefer to do it yourself?
It isn't necessarily prefer. I think desperation breeds creativity. Yeah. I think we come up with what we've got to do because that's the way to go forward. Ideally, as things continue to grow, I'll be able to pull in people to take little parts of that, and handle that. But when the budget is growing and you're trying to establish a new business and you're the go-to person, the buck stops there, And I really like what Cheryl said about us forgetting to care for ourselves. I think that's a really strong point and a very important thing for people to remember. And I think one thing you kind of brushed on was about the happiness of other people. I really firmly believe that happiness is our own responsibility. Absolutely. And so being your own cheerleader, being able to, look at the day and I should do it more, look back and go, well, no, I didn't get the 50 things done that I wanted to do, but I did get the 12 things done that I did. And we do forget to give ourselves props. We forget to say, yeah, I'm human and I did okay. And sometimes it actually startles me when somebody tells me how important of an impact we've made on someone's life, because we're just in the forward, like, let's get it done, let's do the best we can. My motto is one client at a time, take care of them and then the next, and one student at a time. And it always surprises me when somebody says, you changed my life, or you made a difference. And
thank you.
I've found that since I've created Woo Wee, that's been the hardest part for me, is hearing the feedback. I think it's amazing for someone to give that credit to me, because I don't feel like this journey that I've started has anything to do with me. I feel like I'm the messenger. I feel like God placed it on me to give it to everyone else, and
It's
it's helping
created
me.
just a powerful combination.
It's helped me, but when people show that kind of gratitude, I'm not used to it.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's very overwhelming, and I think in this whole journey, that's been the hardest part for me, is how do you deal with that? And I'm trying to be just acceptant of it, because I don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
But when I sit by myself and I think and I hear in the inboxes and the messages I get, and they're like, LaVon, you don't know what you've done. And I'm like, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
It is, but it means that you're in the flow and that your life purpose is unfolding, because when you start touching lives at that level, then you know you're doing the right thing.
Right.
It's the most amazing feeling. I can say one of the most amazing feeling outside of having my children that I've experienced. And it's made me very humble with this experience, to know that you're touching someone's life. It's incredible.
I think that's the most impactful thing you can ever
it's
do
incredible.
in your journey on this earth.
Yes.
Is to be able to bless and touch someone else. Otherwise, what are you doing? I mean, that's just kind of how I feel.
I agree. Why are you here?
Why are you
What's
doing
your
it?
purpose?
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's another show topic. Okay. We will continue this conversation after a quick break from our sponsors.
Ooh-wee, I got all my sisters with me. Ooh-wee, I got all my sisters with me.
Faith for a Cure has a fourfold mission rooted in the cure. We care about the cause. We unite people with people. We partner with researchers in order to provide the most current information for persons living with sickle cell anemia, in order to educate and spread awareness about this disease. Learn more about sickle cell anemia at www.faithforacure.org.
It's all in me. Yeah. I can be every woman with brie and bead, fashions and accessories. Ooh-wee, I got all my sisters with me. Ooh-wee, I got all my sisters with me.
Welcome back to Woo Wee, the S on our chest. So we've been talking a little about what the S on our chest means to us. I think that we as women, sometimes I think we feel like if we just do it ourselves, we know it'll get done. And we know that it'll be done the way that we want it done.
Right way.
The right way.
There is that.
Right. I think we all have our definition of the right way. But needless to say, I just think that's a woman thing, that it's just got to be done a certain way, and we might as well just do it.
Yeah.
So what do we think about letting other people be super to us? I think that's a really good question. And I don't know that I've ever thought about, I don't know if I could or not.
I have difficulty with that. And I don't know if it's because I am controlling in some areas of life. I don't know if it's, like you said, if I know I'm doing it, then it's done. And I don't have to ask anyone. If it's an independent factor, because I've had to be independent, and so therefore it's very difficult for me to understand why someone would want to. But I think that it's important, and I'm not here to say don't do it. Be that independent lone woman. You got it. Because as I've gotten older, I need help. Things get done a lot more proficiently, a lot easier, simpler in life if you have assistance and if you let those barriers down, and being willing and able to do it. Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers to that right now, but I have learned, especially, I've gone through a lot of challenges being a business owner, and there were times where it could not have gotten done but for help. And I think owning the list has taught me to accept help, and then everybody's not out to get you. Everybody doesn't have an agenda or a motive. There are truly some genuine people out there who are willing to help. And you have to be discerning and know who they are and accept it when it comes. And then, because that's God offering help, you know, in my opinion, many times. And, you know, there's, like I said, there were some challenges that I faced personally that I couldn't have gotten through without some assistance and some help. And so being able to apply that to different areas of my life that I want to hold on to and that I feel like I have to control. Because, again, I do not have it all together, and it's so much easier with help. But then learning how to do that, learning how to accept that help is something I'm still doing. Something I'm still challenged with, but I'm growing.
Do you think it's a trust factor in accepting help, or is it more or less you're just used to doing it yourself?
A little bit of both, but I think primarily trust, because, you know, you've opened the door and let certain people in, and they totally were not who they said they were. And so you do build up some walls, you do build up some resistance to that, and you think, hey, I don't have to deal with the drama if Cheryl just takes care of it. Who wants all of that, right? But again, you have to be able to be open and discerning and to know there are genuine people out there. Everybody's not out to get you. And you do have to be smart. You know, you can't just tell everybody everything, all your business, and all you need help with. But there's good people in your life that are there truly to help you. And just let them. And give them small assignments. Don't give them the big stuff. Don't give them all the big stuff. Don't hand over the bank account and say, hey, fix my numbers for me or whatever. But yeah, definitely open yourself up to that assistance, because we're not super women. We weren't made to be. A friend of mine always tells me, speak to yourself, do for yourself what you would do for your daughter, your best friend, your mom. And if your conversation to yourself and the things you're doing to take care of yourself aren't the same thing, then you're having a wrong conversation with yourself. And I take that advice when I get in my mood, my space where I'm doing everything. I'm like, I would not tell Micah, who is my daughter, to do it this way. I would tell her, get some help, baby. It's all good. Or I wouldn't speak to Micah the way I speak to myself sometimes. That love, that care, that nurturing we give everybody else, we should be the first recipient of that, because house will carry on. So,
but we don't do that.
We don't. That's not our first instinct. We absolutely don't
do that.
But we need to learn to. It's vital to our health. So,
you said a word. You used the word discerning, and I was just thinking about that, because I think that we break our trust in ourselves because we don't discern the help that's coming. So we just maybe assume because it's there, the synchronicity of it, or the vibe that we get from it, oh, that's cool.
It's all good.
And then we don't pay attention, then we jump and we keep rolling with that, and we don't pay attention, and then we get hurt. And so we close down.
And our walls are up.
And so I think it is a process of self-trust, because you touched on that, but also discerning, you know, believing that you can trust some people, and that it's okay to get help when it's offered, but to be discerning about where exactly that comes from. You know,
Do you think, Tracey, that you would be able to allow someone to be super in your life?
Yeah, I think that at age 58, that I should be, well, about to become 58, that I am more ready for that than I have been in the past. You know, I think that life circumstance made me independent. Not only that, but I'm a Sagittarius, which is the most independent. Oh, there you go. And I was born on November 26th, which is the week of independence.
Oh, wow. So you had that.
And so I think that, like you said, Levon, it is like we get quality control, we get used to different, it is control, but I don't like to think of it controlling, because we're not trying to manipulate with that. We're just trying to ensure quality and ensure flow and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think I'm I'm ready. And I've been very grateful for the help that has come to me, not just from people, but God guides and angels along the way. Well, I know we all have some stories there.
Absolutely. I think you said something profound to me, is that the independence piece, and I have something over both of you. I'm born on the 4th of July, which is Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
I got you both beat on that. And something you said, Tracy, is the independence, life circumstances have definitely made me very independent, to the point I don't want to let anyone in to assist with anything in any area. And I think we've all said the thing as it relates to the age that we've gotten to. I think age plays a big part in how we get to certain places, dealing with certain situations. For me, 50 was it for me. 50 changed my life in so many ways. My whole mindset changed. It shifted. And I asked myself constantly, why did it take you this long to get it? Well, because that's the journey that I had to go on. Because when you're hard-headed and you don't listen and you don't see the signs and you ignore, all these things that I think we all can relate to. Everyone should get to a place in their life where, whether it's 50, it may not be an age thing, maybe it's a circumstantial thing. It's not. But for me, turning 50 was that I thought I would be depressed and crying like, oh my God, what have you done with your life for 50 years? And it was the total opposite. I was excited to begin living my life, because I lived the first 50.
Some of the expectations
for everybody else.
Gone.
I let all that stuff go, and it's about me and what I want. And the other thing I wanted to touch on is that the thing about being happy. I think for me, it's about peace. At this stage in my life, I think we're meant to have happy moments, but for me, it's finding that peace. Because I want to live in peace the rest of my days on earth. I enjoy having happy moments, and I know I will have happy moments, but I don't no longer search for happiness, because I just feel like
it's not outside.
No, it is not. I feel like it's happy. People. I want to be happy, and I'm looking for happy, and it's going to be that husband or this big house.
Something has to happen in order for me to have joy and peace.
And that's outside of you. No control over that. Darn.
Happiness is an emotion that you experience, whatever creates that for you in that moment. But for me, it's that peace. That surpasses.
Peace with ourselves too. Self-forgiveness. Kindness to ourselves.
Self-awareness, knowing what it is that makes.
What do we want?
What do I want? And being so in tune with me, knowing that, then I can help you. I can help you then, because I'm good here. I'm not still struggling trying to figure it out. And a lot of times we want to help everybody else, but we still got all of this mess going on, and we can't do that. We don't have the capacity at that point, because we have so much that needs to be worked on. And that's a perpetual thing forever, but at least have a good foundation of knowing who you are and what you want, so that then you can help your sisters, you can help your family.
You started something that made me think, like, we live our lives, each decade passes. And when we're younger, trying to please other people, it's not, you can smoke and burn a decade like that. But you get up this age and it's like, I don't really think I have 10 years to make a mistake like that again.
At this point,
I feel a lot more pressure.
Great conversation.
That's when the no comes out.
We will continue this topic after a brief break.
Awesome.
I know firsthand the effects of sickle cell anemia.
I didn't start knowing about sickle cell anemia until I started growing up and had friends that had it. And
I've learned a lot about sickle cell anemia. I've had no other choice. I'm a father of 3 sons who were born with sickle cell anemia, and
our cells are sickled instead of fully circular, so that's easier for it to clot and cause sickle cell crisis, which you put a young man through a lot of pain, young man, young woman through a lot of pain.
This disease that affects over 100,000 people in America alone.
My brother passed away from it. My oldest brother at the age of 16 years old. Me and my other brother, we've been battling with it our entire life. So
sickle cell has affected my life because I've had friends that had it, and just seeing what, like, we'll be out there playing one day, and then, you know, seeing them the next day, like the stuff they go through, it just happens just like that, and you don't really know when it's gonna hit. And
yeah, it's affected me in a major ways. Couldn't play sports like I wanted to. It's something, man.
Sickle cell, man, it's a whole different thing, man, because imagine 1 minute your child is out playing and everything's fine. Then 20 minutes later, they're in unbearable pain that you can't do nothing about.
Sickle cell crisis, man, it's the worst pain in your life, man.
To see this and realize, like, how sickle cell can affect a family and friends in so many ways. And
will I ever be able to get over this? Is this ever gonna stop? You feel me? Because crisis can last for days on end. They could last for weeks. You feel me? So
seen and learned about growing up through my friends. Like, my message would just be like, spend time, like, care and be there, and, you know, just love one another, be there for each other.
Because it's not just for me, it's for everybody with sickle cell. Your loved ones, my loved ones, people we don't even know. They suffer from this disease, man, and we can do something to save their life. We can make it better.
Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me. Woo-wee, I got all my sisters with me.
Welcome back to Woo Wee, the S on your chest. Ladies, just remember, we can get it all done, but put yourself first. It's okay to be a superwoman, but just make sure you take care of yourself first. I would like to thank both of my guests for joining me. It's been a fun ride tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I look forward to maybe seeing you guys back on another episode, possibly.
Yes.
S on my chest part 2.
There we go.
All right. Thank you so much.
Aw, thank you.
Woo wee. Can't hear it. I say that you changed. I'm convinced I know the problem. You don't know.
Early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table and make sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast unlikely. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. Now you see the juicy sour, it used to be so sweet. And I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. We don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not.
Who is N. Wesley Pugsley Jr. and Associates CPA.
We are a full-service CPA firm with over 25 years experience in audit, tax, bookkeeping, payroll, including direct deposit, setting a 501c3 nonprofit status, preparing loan packages, and much more. Since tax season is right around the corner, our focus today will be on taxes. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
What sets your CPA firm apart from other CPA tax preparers?
Technology. When I started in public accounting in the early 1980s, there were no computers or fax machines. Everything was face-to-face meetings. With the advent of computers, the internet and cloud-based software, we can communicate with any client from anywhere in the country. With our portal technology, which is similar to online banking, you just sign into our secure website, upload your tax document, you scan to your C drive, and we prepare your return. We've prepared taxes for over 15 different states in the past 3 years from California to New York. We have the state tax software for all states. With Skype being on phones and Facebook, we can meet with you face-to-face in the comfort of your home.
It appears times are changing.
I call this the year of enlightenment. Many Americans are seeing the advantages of supporting community-based businesses. We are here to serve you, not just because we're a community-based firm, but because we have the experience. We know we can serve your needs.
How are you giving back?
If you mention the Renaissance Academy when we prepare your taxes, 5% of your tax prep fee will be donated by our firm to this organization. The Renaissance Academy is a program designed to engage middle and high school African American males in a series of college trips, community service, job shadowing, workshops, and events promoting academic and social and financial skills. See their website for more information.